another episode of the Diaspora Divas. And with me is Joy, Olga, Tosin, and myself, Omari.
Hi guys.
And our topic of today is Japa.
The almighty Japa.
When you hear that word, your mind is just wandering into different places.
Yes,
But today we'll be talking about our different experiences when we, first, left our country to different places where we are today. Our experiences, our limitations, the drawbacks. How did we adjust? The first impression, those things that we saw that were like, oh my God, oh my God. Let me start with one. The first thing that I saw was people making out on the train. Hello. I had stomach upset.
Really? Culture shock number one.
And I met a pastor's wife around me, and the first thing she says, "We can't forgive you." That was funny. But yes, let's hear from
That's
you.
really interesting. I think my first impression when I landed, like right from the airport, was how massive the airport was, first of all. And everyone just seemed to know where they were going. And I had no idea where I was going.
Did you come alone?
Yeah, I came by myself. And I had to wait at the airport for one of a very close friend, an uncle, if I could call it that, to come and pick me up from the airport. So I was just trying to, get used to the environment and everything. And when he finally got to the airport, I got into the car and quickly, as a Nigerian girl, I don't lock the door. And he now said, no, you leave it open. I said, the wounded thief was inside the car. Because in Nigeria now, as soon as you get in the car, you lock your doors.
Yeah.
He said, no, leave it open. If there's an accident they're trying to rescue you, it makes it easier and all that. I said, that's what you used to do, yeah? Okay. So that was my first impression of the country. And even getting from the airport to the car, the way the cold hit me, I've never been faced with that level of cold in my life.
Oh, I came during summer.
It was like someone was just following, those massive ACs that you usually find in banking halls in Nigeria. It's as if someone was just following me with that AC.
Yeah, I'm just sitting down here remembering the first time I landed, and it was raining.
Wow.
So my cousin came and picked me up. I hadn't met her before. It was the first time, so this is me eager to see someone I hadn't seen before. But yes, it was raining. We got home, she picked me up. The fact that we just get trolley, we're not paying. At that point, your brain is like, now, wow.
Nobody's coming to hustle you at the airport.
Now, she said we they put load, we support the team by ourselves. Nobody to tip.
Nobody come and help you carry your heavy bag.
We were just pushing the thing, and where she parked now, because she stayed here now. So, not like Nigeria will just block road to put your load. So I'm parked
far away,
level 6 or something. Yeah. Now we know it's P6. Now that then I didn't know what was paying in 6.
What is it?
and then when she picked me up, we got home. The road was beautiful. You're just enjoying. Oh, which house now? Let me eat food. Give me stew. You say no better. Oh my God! First thing I got to get is like you don't eat pepperless.
Well, my very first Japa story. That was
you've Japa several times.
Yeah, so I'll actually talk about my very first Japa. My very first Japa, I was very young, and I remember it was in Ukraine. It was in the middle of like the heavy snow, and like I was in the bus. Language barrier number one problem, and it's like this kind of Japa that they will just write paper for you and say, when you hear this, just come down. So like it's not like you're coming down with an understanding that this is my destination, but you're coming down with the understanding that they said, when you hear, for example, P, just come down. Don't ask, just come. And then I got into the bus. It was dark. What I could just see was white snow everywhere. And then when I heard the language, I said, this is it. And I was about going down, like stepping down from the bus, and I don't know, maybe it was an angel or something, but a Ghanaian man just held me and said, sorry, I'm very sure this is not your destination.
They will carry you go.
I
like till today, I don't know what would have happened to me. Maybe I would have been gone or something, because I would have probably come down in between, like nowhere. No, there's cold, no language
No possibility
barrier,
of another
No.
bus even going that route.
no calls, no even no
The man
phone
looked at
calls.
this cake area and said, she cannot be
Yeah,
missing.
JJC.
Not on my watch.
They just be like they stamp the JJC for your forehead.
Seriously.
But you're lucky because some people will just let you
Yes,
go.
yes.
That which is one of the challenges people face.
And the other one was same, like on that same trip going to wherever my final destination was. Like we're just all used to like our spring water and whatever, and I never knew it was gas water. Like
you were headed.
water with, is it bubble or like I was like, oh, surrounding water. I put it in my mouth and like nope.
And then what's the difference?
Oh wait, is it those what do you call it?
No, there's
It
spring,
has
there's
a name.
another one. But
Yeah, the one is that like sparkling water.
water, yeah.
I'm like, oh, it tasted
Yes,
like very
I
different.
don't like sparkling water.
Like that was my own experience. Like my
Wow.
very
It happened
very
to me
first
before because
experience.
then in my head I'm like, water is water. Maybe they're just giving me name, you know.
I don't like sparkling water. One bit.
Joy, what's your experience like?
Mm.
I think mine is very different because I think, for example, I know I used to tell you that you paved the way for us, that you have come here and you experienced it all. Like, she literally broke it down for me. This is what you're going to expect at this level. This is what you're expecting at this level. This is how you're going to suffer. This is how you're going to enjoy. Like, this is what you do before you enjoy. This is what you do.
So no
So it's
surprise.
like,
That's the
No
expectation.
surprises.
I gave you mark.
so exactly. So I
It's
came.
one.
Yeah. She told me she didn't sugarcoat anything. So she was like, so I was ready for anything by the time I came here. So I didn't think I got anything. The only thing that I know that still makes me wonder today is, that recycling thing, like yellow bean, red bean.
You still don't know how to sort it out.
Say today.
You know how many times you're like,
Is this recycling?
oh god, this is yellow bean,
Yes.
this is red bean.
Yes. Is it the green bean? Oh God, please put it in the red bean.
Orderliness. Where are you coming from?
So what has been your culture shock? Like, have you had any culture shock experience?
No, I think that, no. Really? I don't think so.
I think my culture shock experience would be
Maybe I'm still putting.
when I started working and people would just look, like when you're walking on the hallways and people would pass by and they're looking at you and smiling. In my head, I'm like, do I know this
know me?
person? Am I supposed to know you? Have I met you somewhere? Why are you smiling at me?
Yeah. But yeah, one interesting thing for me is the fact that a lot of people walk up to me and be like, how come you can speak English? The notion that
Wow.
the notion
I
that
didn't get that. I think
oh,
people
no,
already
was really, really crazy there.
Yeah,
And the notion is that
time was different.
we do not know how to speak English.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when people hear your voice up, there's no time I didn't get, how come you speak different?
Yeah.
So you go for job interviews and they're interviewing you, but the person is at the end of the interview, I just wanted to know, how did you learn how to speak English?
Oh wow.
The same way you
Learn how to
learn.
speak- Yeah. So, but I think maybe that thing of because people migrated here, all those, refugee thing, they just have this thing that we.
Once you're black, you must be a refugee.
I
Yeah,
think
so
people
you
are more
must speak
exposed
English.
now. Recently, I don't get that as much. The only thing I get at work is if I come with different wigs and like, is that your hair?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a blue one today. Oh, you got a red one today.
All day, every day. The answer is yes.
They got used to it, and there's some part of Australia that when I visited them, you would beg to see an African person, a black person. Let's not even say African, whether it's Black America or what, you would beg. So the same place we went to in Port Macquarie, when we went there, they were looking at us like tourist people. Everyone was just looking.
There was a place Sammy went to work one time, and it was
Sammy's
like
her husband.
it was like he's the only black person they've ever seen there.
Yeah.
The guy became tourist attraction.
You see that Port Macquarie?
I was asking him, did you sign autographs?
Or maybe depending on the job you started with when you came here. Some of us, I used to call it Mandiala. We did all this door knocking, fundraising. We knock on people's door. And the first thing, there's some people are not used to black people.
But it does not mean that you just react like that.
Some of them will react.
But I think even till
Wow.
now, because
some of them don't. They're not used
before
to
I started driving, like I can tell that for the 1 year that I stayed here in Australia, I can tell you that only 3 times I've seen someone in a bus with me, like from this 840 bus. I can tell you that most times I'm the only black person in the bus. Yeah. So I used to wonder, like, yeah, all the black people.
My manager at work told me that she had never in her growing up, she never met a black person.
Wow. But I know, irrespective of the fact that we're still minority, I'm still grateful for the experience, and because most of all, before we experience anything racist, like in me coming here since I came, I think maybe just a few times, but not as
There's really
rampant
no
as maybe
racism.
I
my
can't
sister
say
would have
I've had
experienced.
Any
racist
racism
experience.
So I think
No, I think back when I first came, I knew someone, and he's back in Nigeria now. He came on scholarship to study. I remember when someone looked at him and called him a black monkey.
wow.
He didn't get over that experience. He used to go and cheer him up and say, "Come out." I'm like, it's like someone asked me, one of my first questions in interview is like, how would you handle rejection? And the first thing I said to the person was that skin color already. You have to accept that this would happen.
Yeah,
And I said,
reality.
I never one day went home and I was sad and I was angry because I already knew that this is a possibility that it would happen.
Yeah.
So for me, if you insulted me at any point in the job, I can't remember because my head,
I can't
I'm
register.
already,
It's true.
I'm already wired that this will
True.
happen. So when he asked me that question, and maybe that's how I got the job, I said to him, well, I'm already wired that it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm ready for it.
But irrespective, I think Australia is welcome.
But
Yeah.
that aside, depending on where you started, maybe the suburbs to play a major role. He was living in the city where a lot of us would not necessarily.
And I think, but like if for people that migrated here 10, 15, 20 years ago, the number of black people were almost non-existent.
You can count.
Yeah, almost.
You can
like
really, really, really count.
negligible numbers.
Yeah.
But more and more, I think Australia, even as a country, is becoming more exposed, and it's a very welcoming country.
Yeah.
It's a very welcoming country,
diverse,
but there will
multicultural.
always be pockets of those people who are closed-minded.
Yeah.
And
Oh no, they're really because I met someone that people met someone that they were so welcoming. Come and live with me. Don't pay rent. I know how it is to come to a country that Nigerian. Yeah, she asked him for a year. She even said, "Well, I can adopt you. I can sponsor."
Yeah.
That person is extreme. I've met good people, but they're wonderful. So they're still lovely people. See, of all stories I've heard in different countries, Australia is welcoming. Very, very receptive. We can't even
on that, we can all agree.
We can all agree.
Yeah.
And there's also lots of migrants in Australia.
True.
Now, how many people? How many original Australians are here?
Yeah.
Exactly. So unless you are an indigenous Australian, it's hard to claim ownership of the land because you are a visitor.
Well, speaking of the Japa experience, I think what has done it for me is, or if I say what is it worth it, I think yes, experiencing life outside the country, having good education, it's been all worth it. But I think when it comes to friendships in Japaism, or how we call it, going abroad, when it comes to friendship, I don't think that some friendships don't stand the test of time. Like I have two best friends, and I can tell you that can't remember for life when I spoke to them last.
Wow.
And I'm the kind of person that I really invest in my friendships. You get, I'm all out there for you and do stuff for you.
Yeah.
And so coming here, it's not the same with my sister. Like before, I have a very good friend. Her name is Dawn. Like before I can see Dawn, even though we speak on the phone every day, like we have to arrange to meet. Life here is so busy. Like,
and the time difference doesn't even help too.
During the holiday, I can tell you how many times it's only because now maybe we're going to school. I can tell you that during the holidays, like
everyone is busy.
You come my time, but you're calling side. Yeah, on your side. If I enter train, I will enter 2 train.
Dawn is in Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about friends in Nigeria.
I'm like the friendship that she's from.
I'm saying that here now, friendships that I form here, how I can now invest.
First of all, it's even hard to form friendships here.
I tell you.
It's so hard to form friendships here.
So I think that's my experience for me that has really, really changed. It's really forming friendships, keeping
I have
them.
a question for you. So I remember you said that you have like friends back home.
Yes.
So would you say that like the Japa itself, is it affecting your friendship back home? Like, are you still able
No
to?
matter what I say, even if I say this friendship, I know that in 10 years, 20 years, they'll always still be my friend. But no matter what, it will have an effect on our friendship.
Definitely.
My other best friend, Mohammed, I don't know if I told you, there was a time Mohammed was speaking to me. Mohammed had said that I didn't care. He was going through a rough patch. He had explained to me that he was going through a rough patch. And I understood he was going through a rough patch. Within me, I was trying to do something about what he was experiencing. But time difference.
Yeah.
In the time when they sleep.
You just you don't go
So
hospital.
I wasn't communicating as much.
Mm.
So he now sent me a one-liner like, now wow, this is how I am, or like, anyways, he has taken his fate. Like, I'm like, guy, what happened? I had to call his wife. He said, this fight will be a fight of love. Like, Ija is fairly, like, he's saying that if it was your issue, you will take it upon his head. Like, when they even first came here, we will spend time on the phone. Like, if you just wake up, we'll do video calls. But now, my sister, maybe once in a month, you know, occasionally we'll just chat on each other's stuff. This is someone I used to see every day. Pick me at work. We eat together, we go for dinner together, we have parties together, you know, and all of a sudden I'm speaking to you once in a month and all of that. So friendships, to keep friendships back home is hard.
So is it
to make new friendships here,
It's hard
I think that last all of us will be alright.
Exactly.
I think it's even quite different now that when you look at the time you came, maybe the time I came, it's even it's easy, you make friends, yeah?
Oh, I have
memory.
we have one about the gang. We're like 8 of us.
I see you sometimes. You're going. Yes, there's some of the things I see you do that I never did 10 years ago.
Yeah, she'll be like, she just looks at me.
It was not in existence.
Yeah.
Making friends was
luxury?
That was a luxury.
Yeah, you my grandma is old man.
Yeah,
Pretty much a luxury.
So friendship, even getting jobs took us roughly like 6 months.
But-
Compared to now, you make friends.
You probably have work friends or something.
A lot of things were not really accessible. There were very few people that were here. Not a lot of people were ready to give you information that you needed. Some people were keeping to themselves.
Talking about that information one. Now we all know how construction work can be really hectic.
Yeah.
And compared to being in social work or disability, that will be someone's preference because it's less physically tasking. I know of a few people that when they came in, no one gave them any information that, this is available in case you want to go that route. The only suggestion was just the construction. And men, they walk that construction.
I tell you that the first 3 years of coming to this country, that first 3 years, I think the information was very minimal. Even when people get something, you see that African in us of not even wanting to tell your fellow person.
I don't think it's an African thing. I think it's just some people believe that because I suffered and struggled, you yourself have to suffer and struggle.
Well, maybe other people might, but we still displayed a lot within us. Like, I won't say Nigerians or African, but either way, where we're coming from, we display a lot of that. Maybe some people are like, I've made it all. Now we say overtaking is allowed. Then I don't think a lot of people agree that overtaking
Don't
is
even
allowed.
drive behind me.
You understand? Don't drive behind me. Then when it's like there's only one person you're certain that have a car. When everything was, we couldn't reach out to a whole lot of things. And maybe that's why you still see some people today. That mindset is still there, or the way they look at life is quite different.
You ask them, this is your job, I like how did you get it?
God. See, that's why I kept saying that information was minimal. It then got to maybe sometime in 2017, 2018, when you now meet some set of people that came and they are able to talk. That's when everybody started talking. But
they were waiting for first to talk.
Yes, but years before then, information was so limited that I'm telling you that if you go to 10 people that first came to this country, all of us started with fundraising, all those Bambiala job, warehousing, HK. They don't tell you about the other side of it, the whole health sector. They tell you go and do set 3 in HK. Those were the few things that we would hear. Some of the information I got was what me. I met one man making a phone call talking about job opportunity. I stopped at the train station where he was talking.
That was not your destination.
Not my destination. Wow. But he wasn't. He was maybe he's. I don't even know which country, but he was helpful. He gave me a job. in education. Wow. An educational agent, but information was so hard. Like, and I used to tell people, if you, anybody that came to Australia 10 years ago and upward, I'm telling you, if you never one day wanted to pack your bags to the airport, then it's not this abroad you came to.
Wow.
It's not like now that you have come now. Yeah, you want to eat a jollof rice. There's Maggie, there's no queue.
Yeah,
There's
where to buy things.
You know, when I first met my husband, let me make you laugh. He had the bono and he cooked it with granite oil.
Oh my god.
I'm like, bro, what's up? Hey, mate, this is you tell me, mate. So there's nothing like palm oil, there's nothing like Maggie. And then I only knew of Auntie Christie's shop. It's in Liverpool. You know, that's when I knew, and thank God my auntie took me there. That's when I said, yeah, there's palm oil in this country. There are things like that. But it's like literally cooked up on a soup with granite oil.
I'm sure he just wanted the taste of home.
Yeah. But that was how we couldn't really get a lot of things. Now we are seeing all these things.
It's so easily reachable.
Even body more.
Yeah. Also some things now that we are seeing. Now when you come here, before you say you're crying and missing home, it's hard, except you have a strong tie back then. But then there were people that you meet, they literally went to the airport, they were crying, they were homesick. We still maintained our friendship back home because we didn't have anyone to keep here. You know, compared to, you know, now that you have friends. So it was so hard. We wake up with tears and everything. We really wanted to go back. But
like some of my mates come to Australia and within 3 months they're buying cars. They're changing jobs.
Oh, then I asked the people that first came how many years it took them to get a car.
Wow.
Or is it when we now eventually do driving tests and pass and the testimonies we share in church? Compared to now that, when I told someone recently that we used to share testimony, then when we pass driving test, they say,
for driving test.
For driving test.
You know?
Then we didn't even know. Like, now people will guide you. Come now, let me help you. I will take you. Then we had nothing. You're coming with the left hand driving back there. We're doing right hand driving. Nobody to really put you through.
Let's talk about the loneliness that comes with Japa, because a few weeks ago, I think there was this video of a very young girl who's in Canada or somewhere, and she was really, really crying and talking about how lonely it is,
Hence the thing I said about friendship.
Yeah, because I remember when I first came, my husband and child were still in Nigeria, and I was staying with a wonderful family. The first thing that hits you in that loneliness is this family were friends of my husband, so I was just getting to know them.
Yeah.
But you know how nice it is to have someone close to you that if you sit down you can do human touch.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Human touch.
Very important, my sister.
That was when it hit me like, wow, this place can't get really, really
that
lonely.
kind of thing. Bros, after when they come and go chop fish.
Yeah. All those things.
It's the best time for you to chop before you find the bros.
All those things not there. In fact, your head is still in the space of, I have to find a job as quickly as possible. I have to get settled as quickly as possible. So that when my family joins me, you know, it's easier and all of that and all of that. So,
like, you know, when Joy was talking about friendship, you know, the funny thing about friendship that I've noticed here. Have you ever thought about it that the kind of friends you get back home and the ones here, they are completely two different people?
Exactly.
If you just even realize that we're adjusting to what we are, with the friends that we make. Because, you know, one day I asked myself, I said, well, put my friends in Australia and the ones in Nigeria, they will not gel.
There's no connection.
I agree.
There is no connection. They're all very different people.
You even begin to question yourself. So
I think
who is the real you?
Yeah. I think there is Nigeria you and there's abroad you.
I agree.
So I'm going back to talk to my friend Kenichi. I'm like, there's a default set that is setting back to, man, this is your marriage.
I think, the hustle brings us together.
Yeah.
The hustle that we try to hustle.
And you know, another thing that we need to bear in mind is, like, for some of us now, if we're in Nigeria, some people that we just relate with, hey, they'll be, good morning, ma. Auntie, good morning. You know? But yeah, it's sort of just it just levels everyone. Hi, Yogo. Hi.
I just look for mine and you for Nigeria will born you with me.
I don't take it too hard because that's the environment.
That's the thing that you just said now. You get one person did that to mom say in church.
You know I'm high.
Me high.
It's like that we do Nigeria. You cannot carry my bag.
I said you my mother. mommy, calm down. All of us here equal. We are abroad. There's no mama. Money high. You high back too.
No, but I don't know how people do that because if you were born and brought up in Nigeria, the Nigeria in you cannot disappear
Yeah.
now. Where
Oh no, it will disappear.
it depends on how long. But let's say you live 30 years in Nigeria and you come here, you now forget. Now be
Have
going high.
you forgotten people that will visit UK for 1 week and come back and be speaking
Those ones
English?
are acting it. If the natural you wants to come, it's like when I met a Nigerian at work, I always used to say Uncle Sheyi, Uncle Sheyi, Uncle Sheyi. To the point where the other colleagues started even joining us. Which is very true. So my point is, it's part of you. But when you now come and immediately you are looking at a woman that is double your age and saying hi, then that's not you being you. That's you.
What if the kid was brought up here?
Oh, that's.
We're talking about people that
talking about people that
Japa.
Will come
You
and
know,
like
in your mind, you know that if we are in Nigeria, you will not come and do hi. You know, two of us know.
Anyways, I think
But hello.
I currently have that kind of experience at work. Like currently, this I know that this person is not is someone that I'll be kneeling down to greet. But what I just do at work is because I cannot use the word ma or I just find common ground, so we speak language, and I use my respect in the language.
In that scenario, like I don't think respect is not really about calling somebody ma or sa or auntie or uncle. It's not. It's in the way you relate with the person. Like if you are holding this phone now, I know say you come out 20 years from my head. I just give me the phone. That's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. You need to still consider that age.
Do you know that there was one day in church that I don't know what this person should be maybe like 4 years older than me, and I don't know what happened, and I don't know how I said it. But only me at that point, the Nigerian me gave myself sense.
Don't do it.
You were just rude. I did know I was contemplating whether I should go back and say sorry. But the point is, see that is So in my head, I'm like, I just pushed my boundary, but
it's not about auntie or uncle.
But
personally, like traditionally for me, we don't call auntie uncle unless you are actually my parents' sister or brother.
20 years plus older kind of thing.
Even 20 years older, we just do ma. You get ma, sa. We don't do that auntie kind of level. But I know that among the Yorubas, they are very auntie and
standard. They only it's 2 years. My
name is 2 days.
My mom is on the phone. Auntie BT. You will think that is immediate sister.
Wow. So we don't do that.
I still have a friend that when he has Chinese neighbors and when he's greeting his Chinese neighbors, so why don't they? Well, I have to remind the culture that they don't understand what they talk. People say, my sister, don't forget. But in his greeting, why don't sir? Why don't they don't do sir for you? You see, they say why don't. What is the why don't was? Nobody knows what.
But you know that I think it's just maybe some of these countries because there are sometimes when I'm on Instagram and looking at some things that we're talking about our upbringing, how our parents live, you see some people like maybe for example the Filipinos,
they have the same.
Oh my God, that's how we grew up too.
Yes.
So some of these things that we're thinking is just particular to us. No, some other people are
Even the
sharing.
islanders.
So I think some of them also get when we do that. They know.
They understand.
When I dropped my first daughter in child, no, my second daughter in childcare, and I said, "I'll say thank you, auntie." And the lady was like, "Oh my God, she called me auntie."
Oh, that's
it's bitter.
Whereas here, she call me and she don't call me auntie. Alright, call me Joy. Who are you calling Joy? Auntie Joy, is better. So I think even though we Japa, we still take a lot of home, back here. And it just goes to say that even for our generation that's coming, it is still, I think it might even get lost maybe after the Gen Zs have become parents, it might get lost there. But we, the millennials, we make sure that we still remind it in our children that, you can Japa fine, but you still have to have the upbringing that we had from home.
Yeah, and see another side of this Japa, if you look at it for the children, it's hard. They come home and see us doing it one way. They go out there too. They see people.
You know how many times my kids have asked me, "Can't you marry your sister?"
No.
Let's go. They have for you.
So now imagine. So I think it's not so easy for the kids too. But I think as they grow, they understand that they're living sort of, I won't say two lives, but really it's almost like that.
At the end of the day, in as much as you want to integrate with your the culture of the place where you relocated to, you can't disregard your own culture that you've grown up with, that that makes you who you are today. So it's just finding the balance between both cultures and navigating your social circles.
So would you say
that.
Japa is worth it for you?
Initially, the word would be no. But then over time, things have changed. We've come to love it. Like sometimes, like you ask me, when next are you traveling? I'm like, I don't know. Because your new life is here.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it will be when I go back home.
Like it's like you're displaced.
I don't
from home
now. I don't know. So
I'm not sure you will be able to.
I don't
left-hand drive
you
anymore.
understand? I don't know. I feel like I'll go back home. I won't drive. I'll go back home. I won't do this. Because over time, this has become my new home.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that no, that's my origin.
Oh,
so where am I?
The thing that they say no place like home, does it still apply to you? Or here has now become
No one has asked me that question, so you sort of put me on the spot. I can't even answer you now.
Wow.
No place like home. I think 5 years ago I'll tell you I miss suya, I miss those things. Yeah. But now we have our own version of suya.
Oh my god.
We're importing the spice.
You get comfortable with the substance.
Yeah. No place like home. Maybe take us back to certain things like how we wake up one morning, go and see each other, knock on each other's door.
How your neighbor can just randomly just come in and just have a chat and all that.
Part. This kind of thing, your pepper will be finished and then you are still thinking when will I go to the shop?
Yeah.
When I just go to my neighbor, I bet you get pepper.
Yeah, the pot is on the fire already.
Have you ever been stranded? It has happened to me once. I didn't know how my salt finished.
And you can't just walk across and say, please give me salt.
I don't know if it was with my friend Nero or something. Just to even knock on someone's door for salt.
Never.
Hours passed, we were still contemplating.
Yeah. I think that's another thing.
We didn't have a car now. We started trekking to shop to buy salt.
It's quite isolating, yes.
But for us back home, we have a sense of community. Your aunties, your uncles, your friends,
neighbors, random people on the street. I was chatting with one of my colleagues the other day. I said in Australia, like if you're on the trains, you can't just start a conversation with the person sitting right next to you.
Talk about dating.
Really, really hard.
If you can't talk to someone in the train, how will you not talk about dating?
So those kind of scenarios is what makes you feel like being here, especially if you're on your own, is quite lonely and very isolated because I can't sit in Nigeria many times. I'm just in a bus, maybe bus just traffic just catch us immediately. Once somebody just say, "Hey, now wow,"
the
whole bus don't engage you.
The sweetest friendships you form sometimes is
those random ones.
When you're traveling from Abuja to Benin,
I know.
That partner that you will sit down with people who you will just like your life depends on
you. When they pass by, two of you will eat and carry on your journey.
You will move. That's when you now exchange numbers. Friendship has formed.
Yeah, but you don't have that type of thing in Australia. The closest that I've come to it was one day on the train. It was a really, really hot day. So as soon as I entered the train, there were two ladies in front. They looked like they probably were Filipino origins. I don't know. But one of them had the hand fan. So I just tapped her. I said, bring it closer. I forgot my own at home. And two of them just bust out.
That's so funny. Yeah. So funny.
But those instances are very few because on a normal day, like if the train gets stranded on the tracks, I can't just turn to the person beside me and be like, complain about being stuck. Everybody's head is just
on their
phones.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, if you're not on your phone and you just raise up your head and look around, you see that everyone is just avoiding every other person's gaze. Nobody wants to make eye contact with anybody. Either you are busy looking around or your eyes are on your
back
phone.
home when you make eye contact, you have no choice. How far?
You
make eye contact and then you move your head back.
Just with as if
back home that don't breathe the person that you're passing on the street.
It's a problem.
You will know.
That day for that house,
very deep.
She rude, don't be small.
Very small.
Why here you will tell them you're not under obligation to say hello. It's not standard. You don't need to go to work and say hello. No, go and do your job.
That's true. In Nigeria, anybody when you walk up past, you your
must
road.
greet.
Good morning,
Exactly.
good afternoon.
Either you greet or the person they greet you.
Yes.
But here,
Mind your business. Face your front.
yeah, you
and
might
keep
not
going.
think so that person cannot greet. Is that why the person?
But you know, it was later I don't realize that one when they look me, they shine teeth. That's their version of greeting.
greeting.
That is the
They made an
culture
eye
here.
contact.
wow.
Yeah. So they look at you and then they smile. And then
So,
the response
I've
is
learned
for you
something
to look
today.
back and smile back.
Oh, really?
Yes. It took me a long time to understand that. So free tip for you.
Yeah, no,
No,
but
me, I'll just look at you and roll my
if you
eyes.
even notice, sometimes when I go to drop the kids at childcare, the person opening the door is already smiling.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
greeting. That's it.
That's the culture.
Doesn't
here.
have to be good money, man.
No,
Good
that's
morning, sir.
the culture. Yes, I look you, you look me.
That's
You
so.
smile, and they keep it.
Don't make
moving.
eye contact. We know.
Noted, guys, noted. So has it been working for you?
I would say at first, talking today, right now, in this instant, it's worth it.
Yeah, knowing exactly how back home is as well.
Yeah, knowing how it is back home is a huge factor, and it's more like how much you've established yourself in this new country, right? Because if I'm to go back home today, it's going to be rough. It's like a new relocation.
You'll be like
again.
a stranger.
Yes, it will be like the first time I
So
came
would
here.
you go home if you had like $1 million or something like that? Like when you go and just
The thing is, what are you going home to? Do you get what I mean? Because what are you going home to?
2 million.
Nigeria is a place
3
that
million.
it does not matter how much you have. I have an Indian colleague that someone asked him if we were to pay you 600,000 AUD, would you relocate to India? And he found it very difficult to answer that question.
Yeah.
And 600K will be like huge money in Indian currency.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
just that maybe if we were still single and we might think about maybe say, I'll just carry the money,
Go find man.
go find man, or run, go back house. The point now is, over the years, like I haven't visited Nigeria since I got married. I've had 3 children. My husband. I've made new friends. And no matter how we made the friendship, you've made new friends.
Yeah,
You've
planted your roots.
You've planted your roots. Some people have bought properties. Where do you want to start going? You become citizens of this new country. Your life is here now.
Your life is here. This is now your home.
Yes. I want to go home. They'll take like, how do I survive?
Oh wow.
The point is, this is my new life. This is my new world. Yeah. And so how do I begin? Yes, I miss home. I still want to go and see some aunties, some of my old friends. Sometimes I begin to ask myself that when I go and see my friend, that we say bestie, we go, how do we even gist again? Sometimes you begin to
if you have that awkward moment,
you have that awkward moment, and then she wants to talk about, you know how normally we have mutual friends, we want to talk. Now we're like, she has a new bestie somewhere, I have a new bestie somewhere.
Yeah. And mutual friends are far and few between.
So now I don't even know how to. You don't know. But yes, I really want to see her. It's sometimes like when my young one grows up, like we should catch up in Dubai or something.
That's
we really need to do
that's
that.
where it's going, because traveling, when I think about traveling back to Nigeria, I can't remember the last time I heard a horn honking. Do you get? I can't remember the last time I heard a horn honking.
Even
and then you stay
for only 2 years.
Yeah, you stay in Nigeria and everybody's they're using horns to say how far.
Yes,
Good morning, no. BBB.
Just when you want to go back home.
Me? Oh my goodness. Yes, because it's still very fresh.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So maybe that's why even someone like Joy is still asking the question, because she's not even up to 2 years. You guys are still fresh, so home is still in you.
Yeah.
Oh yes, very much. Home is still in
How can
me.
I not stand up and say I want to eat fish and I will not see fish?
You buy it and cook it.
We start right now.
You cook it yourself.
This thing it's not the same. The environment.
Well, the taste is never the same.
No, at all.
Even the jollof rice or whatever it is never the
But
same.
you
It's
know,
cooking jollof
if
rice.
you even visit Nigeria now and you go and eat like your regular roadside food, the way the leg will
I
rub
say-
you.
But the only thing that I know that I will miss that I'm going to Nigeria, you see that suya.
Hey,
Roadside bole.
ram me.
I think what I
All
miss
those
most
akara, all
is
those
being able to
roadside.
cook with fresh ingredients.
Oh yeah.
That's what I miss most.
Going to buy fresh ugu, not this one that was
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So all those
Water
other
leaf.
things, yeah, but
All those periwinkle, that periwinkle senior brother, that one that is a bit
something
bigger.
I ate when I first came here. I can't remember what it was. You told me You will get used to it.
When you're trying to say the
I
difference.
was like, which kind of fish?
See all those roadside gathering that people
This is
sit
the
down, you
mackerel.
just order for roasted fish
Yeah,
and
we go there.
with
My mother said
chips
that
and all those
Yeah.
stuff. Like you still miss it. I still feel that yes, I would really when we get to that stage, we really want to visit Nigeria because I've noticed that people that have stayed there after 20 years or so, they start to go home every year. You know,
Yes.
there's that trend.
Yeah.
So it's like we're that busy stage
Yeah, I
of
went
our
to
life
camp-
where we
I
don't
went to
want to
camp
go
by
yet.
Yeah.
But we'll get to a stage when we've relaxed.
Yeah.
Those people that have stayed 20 years, they definitely don't have kids under 5.
Yes, not well.
So if you're
Yeah, but
traveling, you're traveling with like 12-year-olds,
Yeah.
15-year-olds.
Yeah, sometimes I
You
even
can
travel
even decide
alone.
to leave them.
Yeah, or you're traveling by yourself.
So yeah, we're still at that.
But anyways, I
stage.
think Japa has been worth it for me. I think financially, experience-wise, going out of what you used to experience and grow your
Let me cut
knowledge.
you. When you got your first paycheck, how did you feel?
I went to
Convert.
thank you. I'm like Omari. Like I'm seeing myself now. I'm like, see my. I instead of me to be calculating naira in dollars, I'm like, no, I'm a millionaire in naira.
But you know that even after a year, someone like Joy has not grown out of it.
Oh,
Because
I still convert.
everything she's still converting.
I
It
still
annoys
convert.
me.
If you buy something, you just said 5 million. Like this phone that we just bought. I had to Google it though. I told myself, I said, if we Google that phone, I would have not bought that phone. Because if you Google it, man, it's phone is like 2.3 million. And my brother said, you did not know. I said, I did not know. If I knew, I would have not bought it. What would I be carrying for the 2 million?
You're carrying somebody's land.
Thank you.
Land and foundation.
And the entire family never even chop. They never pay school fees. They carry up for hand.
One funny experience I had, I think either the day I landed or the day after. You know how you can't travel with aerosol cans, so you can't travel with body spray.
Yeah.
So I had to go out and get body spray.
Like that first of all. Before they take aerosol car, before they say I beg. Now only 2 years I don't get for you.
No vex, no vex.
You never reach.
So I had to go out and buy body spray. When we got to the shops and I saw the price on it, I think it was maybe $5 something. Quick, conversion.
I tell you.
I said, body spray when they buy 250 for Nigeria.
That'll be like 1.5 there now.
No, at that time it was like 3K or something. I was like, for body spray. More than not worry.
Now where you done, they reach like 1,000. Now go calculate that again.
You know that when you even first come to Australia, you just come light. Your very first experience, you come light. Now get the opportunity to go to Nigeria.
You can't come back light.
You will come back with 10 bags. Because you are buying Nigeria to Australia.
Yeah, you can't come
then
back
we didn't even know what to be. Because if you use UK to look at it, UK, there's Nigeria in UK.
Yes.
Here,
It's not that way.
end of the world. Down on.
But irrespective, Shai, it has been good. You know what is new friends, and a sense of community. I think my sister being here made it really, really easy for me because now her friends have collaborated them too. Like they're my friends, like enter the ground, yeah, they're my friend. So I think having that sense of community, if you Japa, in fact like the only thing that matters because that community will get you started.
Yes.
They will help you with your loneliness. They will help you direct you on what to do.
Give you ideas.
I remember my first train experience. My sister was on the phone with me. I still miss the train, but at least she was there. I thank God for things like Uber. Like, she keeps telling me when I enter Uber, like, in my time, there was no Uber. There was this taxi.
I don't know how people are enjoying that because people had it. I used to walk from the train station to the house for 42 minutes. So when I see somebody tell me you're going painful, where are you going to?
And again, that's the thing with old migrants. Like, if you're having fun as a new migrant, they see that's a problem.
Yeah, I'm serious.
It's a problem.
Yeah, I'm serious.
But then you don't know that these are group activities. Like, this person can be paintball.
Life was too busy. I don't think I have pictures of
Yeah.
But
when.
my sister will be like, people are going paintball. You are taking pictures, so new picture every week. Like, these are the things we see back in Nigeria. Like, it's okay for us to do it now.
I think for us, it's now, like in this time, that we can say, oh, let's plan and go somewhere on Saturday. Because when we first came, go and walk.
With everybody that we were trying to manage to even pay rent
Yes.
and bills. And that time we didn't even know how to manage 2 jobs, or even have you even gotten one good job before you manage two?
Before you start looking for getting another one.
Relationship was standing the test of time because people didn't know how they were going, how the life in Nigeria where you came from and here is quite different. So people were going through a lot in different ways.
Yeah.
So tell me that
I think that
do anything else was
there
not.
are still people here, especially some of my friends. There are still people like that. Even when we say, "Oh, let's go to I don't reduce my hours. I can't work." But it's about intentionality. Some of us still are intentional. That this country won't kill us. We don't work tired.
That'll be a topic for another day.
Yes, let's try and make sure that we look for how to
balance it.
Yeah, not the people for UK when they talk say 123-year-old slumped and died. Or wanted to see you because they were working there. Everything.
No, it's not even really just about work. Like the days you are not working, you just want to be at home
and rest
and
Some
center
people
yourself.
don't do that.
The thought of going bowling or going on a cruise, they were they were not so common at the time.
It wasn't.
I thank you all for paving the way for us new migrants. We thank you. We appreciate you.
Bend down and beat us. Bend down and beat us.
Sorry, I will bend down because tonight I go bowling. It is. I enter my Uber in peace without anybody telling me you're entering Uber. But that Uber, sometimes when I calculate the Uber money,
this is Chinese.
Yes, if I calculate the Uber money, I say, this one at 10,000, what happens to a person for Nigeria? Because if you calculate $20,
maybe we should even explore the idea of when you Japa, everybody when you Japa leave for Nigeria, we just say and you don't blow.
That one not topic.
You don't blow.
So all the while I was trying to remember, there was something in my head that
was it.
Yes, and I remembered it a while ago. I was saying,
anytime you hook them for truth, you are the first point of call. Not knowing that you're also struggling to get.
I was saying to my husband the other day, I said, now I see why some people were like, the first 10 years my picking travel, no remember me. When you're picking, they try to find a fit for that 10 years.
Yes.
Some people now we can take them a year, and depending on the country. Some people taking them years. So people back home, and just like we said, it's a topic for another day, and we will get to that point where we need to break it down. So please look forward to that topic when it comes up. And
anyway, I think we've exhausted.
And one more thing I was going to say too. There's a reason why the friendships we made years, the very moment we came into this country, we can't give up on those friendships, because when you say the people you suffered with, it's like when you're in boarding house and we say we sold Gary together, we're eating unripe mango together. When you say the people that were hustling, struggling, how to make ways, bros, I cannot say my story without mentioning this person. There's a reason why those people
you hold them close. Sorry, hold them dear.
We new migrants can't relate. Sorry,
you hold them close.
So this is for the new people to understand why there are some people that can't live your life.
You've been together, through thick and thin, and
So to round up, we're saying that Japa is worth it.
Eventually. Maybe not at first, but eventually.
Also depending on your situation.
And the first people you come across with, and there is strong determinants
on your success.
But it's also good to have a sense of, look for a community to join, even if it's church, like a black community, black or any
whatever race you are, whatever country,
find your community, and that's where you can find the best help to navigate, living abroad.
And there are also Nigerian association everywhere. They always, it's something that we're not aware of, but they exist. Eventually, when I found out that there's Nigerian association on Nigerian independence, you see them, you think you know people. So just Google, they're always everywhere. Instagram, thank God for Instagram, Twitter. You just type anything, put Nigeria, Australia, things will come out.
And thank God for us too, we're giving you dates, on how to survive living abroad.
At the end of the day, at any point you feel lonely, it's still up to you to drag yourself out, because nobody's coming to save you. You are the only one that can save yourself. So if you are feeling lonely, start to look out for communities and organizations, that you can join and be among people that you can eventually start to form meaningful friendships with. And that would help with that.
Alright, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram handles, or YouTube. What else?
Subscribe.
Yes.
Twitter, like.
Yes,
share,
share.
click on notification
Most
button.
importantly, share so that when we become millionaires or billionaires, who can
You can ask us for urgent 2K.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for
Thank
joining us
you.
today. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.